everyone, and welcome back to the Pumpkin Patch, and welcome back to Days of Halloween. I'm Jessica Moser.
And I'm Chris Jones.
And we are here to host our Horror Homework Takeover Day, which is a podcast that Chris and I will be bringing to you very shortly. Hey Chris, have you gotten a weird letter from a professor recently?
Yes, I have. And I wasn't really sure if it was legit, but you got the same letter?
I got the same letter.
Wow.
It said that our horror education is lacking and that perhaps we needed to go to school to learn some new stuff about horror movies.
Well, I'm certainly needing to learn more about horror. I did take Phantasm after all.
I took Zombieland, which is pretty basic. So anyway, well, I guess you guys will be hearing from us soon about our horror education and what that entails from this weird professor's letter that we've got.
Yep.
In the meantime, let's get into our picks of movies that neither one of us have ever seen. For our Halloween classic of the day, the choice is WickerMan from 1973. Now, while neither one of us have seen these movies, I've done some research on them, so I have a pitch for you about WickerMan.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, Christopher Lee says it's the best movie he's ever been in.
Interesting.
Actually, when the distributor wouldn't promote the movie, he called journalists himself and told them he would pay for their movie tickets to go see the WickerMan and review it.
Oh, okay. Sounds very interesting.
In 1977, so 4 years after the movie was released, the French magazine Ciné Fantastique called it the Citizen Kane of horror movies.
Oh, goodness. Well, we definitely have to have that in our arsenal then.
Absolutely. I think that proves it's a classic. Also, several British publications have said that it's one of the top 10 British movies of all time. No genre.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. All right, now let's get into some of the details of The WickerMan.
All right.
So it follows a police sergeant. He goes to a remote island in Scotland, and he is investigating a missing child.
Okay.
He's a devout Christian. When he gets there, he's a little bit horrified to find out that they have started using some of the rituals and worshiping some of the gods of their ancestors.
Okay.
So they are participating in pagan rituals, and they are also doing some other things that he's not very comfortable with. Some publications have called this police sergeant a little bit puritanical.
Okay.
Some of the things that they're doing that makes him uncomfortable is that they are freely having sex in fields.
Oh, wow.
They are letting children participate in May Day celebrations. I don't know why that's pagan, but...
Oh, okay. That's suspect.
They are teaching children about the phallic symbolization that the maypole represents.
Interesting.
And there are some echoes that maybe they're doing some human sacrifice.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
That's where you lost me. It's human sacrifice. I don't know about that. So this police sergeant gets there on the seaplane, which also pretty awesome. It's actually shot in Scotland as well, so the police sergeant quickly meets Lord Summerisle, who's played by Christopher Lee. Question: do you think Lord Summerisle is his given name, or do you think that that's his title? I'm not sure.
It sounds totally made up to me. So,
It really does. The island is also called Summerisle.
Right.
So, anyway, it seems like he's in charge. When the police sergeant gets there, all the people on the island said that they've never heard of this child who has supposedly disappeared.
Uh-oh.
Yep. And then when the police sergeant goes to the inn where he's staying, the innkeeper's daughter tries to seduce him.
Okay, I'm with you so far.
So also, just a sidebar, because, I get off on rabbit trails, but Britt Eklund, who played the innkeeper's daughter, was pregnant at the time of the filming, so she had to have a stunt double to do all the below the waist scenes that she did.
Like you do.
As one does.
Yeah.
The police sergeant does refuse her advances. And that becomes a key point of the story that I didn't read the entire plot. I won't spoil it for you or any of our audience. But clearly it's a classic. But also clearly it gets a little crazy.
Sounds like it. I mean, depending on who you are, you said this police chief was a devout Christian.
Yes.
So I guess depending on who you are, this is either abject horror or a summer vacation. It's
Sure. It really depends on what point of view you're coming from there.
Right.
WickerMan was also remade in 2006. Guess who stars in it in 2006?
I'm gonna guess Christopher Lee. No.
Nicholas Cage.
Oh, okay. Good choice. Always a good choice.
Yes. Honestly, neither one of us have seen either one of the movies, but I imagine that Nick Cage is the right person to play any character in this movie that seems a little batty.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong with Nicolas Cage.
It's true. You can find The Wicker Man on Amazon Prime or for rental.
All right. Looking forward to it.
For our overlooked horror movie of the day, we have been assigned Oculus, which came out in 2013.
Okay.
It's directed by Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan is a really popular horror director, and he's also been involved in projects like Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, which I don't know if you've watched on Netflix or heard anything about. I know a bunch of the gals in one of my groups have been asking me to watch Midnight Mass, but Mike Flanagan is legendary and especially well known for building a lot of suspense.
Okay.
Also, Oculus has Karen Gillian in it. Love her.
That's a plus. Love Karen Gillian.
Yes. Also, Katie Sackhoff.
Starbuck. Yes.
Yes. She's also in this movie, which is also awesome. Also, Brendan Thwait. He's done a couple other things. Nothing I can think of right now, but so Oculus is about a haunted mirror.
Okay, makes sense. Oculus, something that you look at.
So this mirror makes you see things. Makes you see yourself in a different way.
Besides yourself.
Yes, makes you see things beside yourself.
Right.
So it's set in two different time periods. So it's set in 2002, and then it's set in what was present day in 2013.
Okay.
In the 2002 storyline, family moves into a house. It's a husband, wife, son, and daughter. The son and daughter are 12 and 10 at the time. The dad gets an antique mirror for his office. That's always a mistake, you guys. Do not buy an antique mirror. Don't do it. Don't buy antiques.
Yeah, you would think that by now we would learn that anything with mysterious origin and it's creepy, especially if it's Victorian. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Don't do it. Just get a modern mirror that looks old.
Right.
Just if you buy it at Bed Bath & Beyond, I promise it won't be haunted. Right. Nothing at Bed Bath & Beyond is haunted. So anyway, the dad and the mom immediately start to see things. The mom starts to see herself with rotting flesh.
Okay. Little shades of poltergeist there. Sort of. All right.
The dad starts to see a lady ghost who he has an affair with.
Okay. Weird flex, I guess, but
Sure.
Okay.
The parents eventually start to really break down mentally, and eventually the parents pass away. The daughter is sent away, and the son is sent to a psychiatric institution when that happens.
Okay.
Then we fast forward to 2013. Kids are grown up. The daughter in the story goes to get the son out of the psychiatric hospital, and she, in the meantime, has started working for an antiques house, and she's gotten her hands back on the mirror.
All right. Trouble ensues. I'm sure.
Yes. She wants to do some experiments on the mirror to prove it's evil, to prove that her brother wasn't the one who caused the evil. He was like accused of being the evil one. But she says she's going to do some experiments and then she's going to destroy it. Can you guess what happens next?
I can't imagine anything good coming out of that.
Yep, that's bad things happen after that.
Right. You're calling down the thunder, basically.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? It's like going into the woods. Like why would you
Don't go into the woods.
Yep.
That's exactly it. One of the things that Mike Flanagan said about this movie when I was doing my research is that he said that he never explains the origins of the mirror because he said evil in the world doesn't have an answer, which haunts me.
Wow. So there's no counterforce to evil, he was saying.
I suppose so.
There's no it's not the light side and the dark side. It's evil against nothing. That's okay. That's one to think on.
But it did remind me of the Halloween franchise in that way. We never really know what Michael's motivation is for killing.
Yep. He just mows through people.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And you can't kill him.
Spoiler, if you haven't seen any of the Halloween movies.
Yeah, sorry about that.
If you've seen, no. If you've seen literally any of the Halloween movies, you know, Michael's unkillable.
Right, and we have the end of a trilogy coming up, so it's going to be interesting to see what you do with an unkillable character, but I digress.
This movie was produced by Blumhouse, which there's a lot of Blumhouse movies on our list for Days of Halloween.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of it.
But also produced by WWE Studios.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know how they got teamed up on this project. I don't know if there are any WWE wrestlers in this movie. None that I could find.
I guess I guess creativity would be part of that, I would suppose.
Sure.
Wrestling is creative.
You can find Oculus on Hulu, Amazon Prime, and Sling if you're interested in watching it.
All right, we will definitely check. I'm definitely going to check that out. So
yes.
Because the professor seems to think we should.
Is the professor? I don't know anything about this professor, so we'll see. Maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. We'll have to tell you what we think. For the first half of our late night double feature picture show, it's another movie from 2013.
Okay.
The Conjuring.
Okay, I've heard of this one. I've heard a lot about it. Know nothing about it, but I've heard.
I know what I did the research on and nothing else really, but it was directed by James Wan.
Okay.
He directed the first Saw.
All right, so definitely some horror pedigree there.
Absolutely. He also directed Insidious 1 and 2.
Okay.
He also directed Fast and the Furious 7.
Okay. We'll see. If that. Good one to have in your resume, I guess.
I think so.
Right.
I love the Fast and the Furious movies, so Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga play the Warrens, who are real-life paranormal investigators.
Okay.
So they are called to this family's home in Rhode Island in 1971. The entire movie is set in 1971.
Okay.
Because the family has been experiencing paranormal activity since they moved into the house.
Okay.
So they don't really know why this is happening, but there are some random things that are happening that are really disturbing to them. One, the clocks always all stop at 3:07 a.m.
That's okay. That's the first bad sign, I think.
Yes, but also very annoying. Like you know when the power goes out and you have to reset all the clocks in your house, or like when the time changes.
The alarm doesn't wake you up.
Yeah. Can you imagine having to do that every single day? Because in 1971, there's no cell phones.
Yeah. If the clocks from 1971 are stopping, assuming this is the wind-up clocks and everything.
Yes,
yeah,
I think
that's
so.
Definitely something paranormal afoot.
Mm-hmm. The family dog refuses to come into the house. A few months after they move into the house, they find the family dog dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they kill the dog, you know there's trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if they kill a dog, you know that's some evil right there. That's not even... If my clocks were just stopping, I'd be like, maybe it's a child ghost who's just playing a prank every day.
Right. Or the military experiments or something.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
so many ways to go that. But the clocks and the dog.
The mom starts waking up with bruises, covered in bruises.
Yikes.
Yeah. Also seems like a way to get the husband in the house accused of like domestic violence. So.
Certainly. Yeah, that's a little disturbing.
5 daughters who lived in the house with them, and the 5 daughters all report like seeing ghostly figures at their at certain times in the night at their beds. Don't like that. Don't like that either. Do not involve like kids in this.
Yes. Love visitors, but not while I'm sleeping.
Yes,
So,
yes, exactly. So they bring in the Warrens, who again were a real life couple. This is based on true events. They bring in the Warrens, who are paranormal investigators. The Warrens, in real life, formed the New England Institute for Psychic Research. I don't even know if that's correct. New England Society for Psychic Research.
Yes!
I think.
Yes!
Right. New England Society for Psychic Research in 1952. So they come in and they do an investigation. They figure out there's some evil lurking in the house.
Okay. Which definitely seems to be the case.
They think there's a malevolent entity, but they also think that it's being haunted by a real person who is a woman who lived in the 1800s named Bathsheba Sherman.
Okay. A real person who is no longer living.
No longer living.
So
She
like
died
a
in the
zombie person?
I don't really know.
Okay.
But according to their research, Bathsheba Sherman was a real person in real life as well.
I see.
According to their research, she was accused of being a witch, but also accused of killing a baby.
That would anger somebody, I can see. Enough to want
definitely.
to come back from the dead.
The Warrens determined that there are some dark spirits in the house, but the Warrens also determined that they're now attached to the family, and so moving won't save them.
Oh goodness.
So-
That's bad news.
Yeah, that's very comforting, right? That's exactly what I want to hear.
Now you got to get exorcism involved in all that. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
which is exactly what happens next.
Ah, okay. My instincts are sharp.
Yes, yes they are. An exorcism happens next, and again, we won't spoil the rest of the movie for you. But that's The Conjuring in a nutshell. And again, based on a true story, the director and the production crew consulted Lorraine Warren. She was still living
Okay.
when they made this movie. She passed away in 2019. But she was still living during the production of this movie, and they consulted her heavily. And she says that what happens in the movie is very similar to what happened in real life.
Oh wow. Okay. Now again, I have heard that this movie is very, very good. I again didn't know anything about the movie before today, so yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that one. Yeah.
All right. The Conjuring is available for your viewing pleasure on Netflix and on HBO Max. For the second half of our late night double feature picture show, we've been assigned the 2004 movie The Grudge.
Okay.
The Grudge is based on a Japanese horror movie from 2002 called Ju-on, which is The Grudge. They actually chose the same director, Takashi Shimizu, who directed the Japanese version of this movie.
Okay.
The US version is produced by Sam Raimi, and among its stars are Sarah Michelle Gellar and Bill Pullman.
Oh wow, they got the president and Buffy.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's exciting. The movie is also set in Japan
Okay.
and was honestly greenlit because of the success of The Ring in 2002.
Ah, yes. I talked about The Ring last year.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. This movie has a less linear structure than I think The Ring did. It's one of the things that's criticized. The Grudge has like a 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. But I think a big part of why is because of the non-linear structure.
Okay.
There was a remake of The Grudge in 2020, maybe to help correct some of those like non-linear mistakes.
Okay.
It's set in 2 different time frames, 2001 and 2004.
Like, so it was, is it confusing in a way, maybe, you think?
Yes, because they flash
Okay.
back and flash forward and flash back and flash forward, according to what I read.
Okay, well, we'll definitely keep that in mind when we watch, I guess.
Yes,
All
yes. Both timelines, it's set in the same house. In the first timeline, there's a Japanese couple who lives in the house. So unfortunate events occur in the house because the grudge is a curse that's born when someone dies in extreme rage or extreme sorrow.
Okay.
And it attaches itself to the next person and goes on forever and ever and ever.
Okay.
Basically is what I read.
All right, that's definitely worth making note of. Don't die mad, I guess.
Yes. Or don't live somewhere where somebody else died angry.
Yes. Who lived in your house before, I guess.
But don't do that in a creepy way.
Yeah, we can. I'm sure this is all explained.
Okay, yeah. Maybe it's clearer if you actually watch the movie.
Yes, which we will do.
Yeah. We will do, and we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2004 version, an American couple moves into the home with the mom of the wife of the couple.
Okay.
I feel like I can't say much more than that, just based on what I read in the plot, just because I don't know how much is spoiler and how much is not, because of the changing timelines.
Right.
Really unclear on that. So.
Well, I will definitely find out for myself. So.
Yes. I will do the same.
Mm-hmm.
The Grudge is available on Pluto TV, which is free.
All right.
So that's something.
All right.
So the professor just assigned us movies. So for our horror or Halloween and other media selection, I decided that I would give you some homework.
Okay. All right. I'm game for this.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So since we're doing a podcast, I chose a podcast that I love.
Okay.
Which is My Favorite Murder.
All right.
My Favorite Murder is a true crime podcast. It's from Kieran Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. They both worked in the entertainment industry in LA for a while. Mm-hmm. Karen, in fact, has written for The Ellen Show, and she also wrote for the show Baskets.
Okay. All right.
They met in 2015 at a Halloween party.
Okay. All
and
right.
discovered that they both love true crime. And they launched a podcast in January of 2016, just based on their love of true crime.
All right. And this is how many episodes or seasons has this been out there, would you say?
There are almost 300 episodes.
Okay. All right. So it's got legs.
So it has legs. It is definitely very popular. It has 30 million downloads a month.
All right.
So it's definitely very popular. They call their fans murderinos.
Okay. Nerdlist has names for their fans too. But
there you go.
They're nerdlisters, but yeah.
There you go. But I thought that I'd give you a specific one to listen to.
Okay. All right. Like a specific episode?
Yes, like a specific episode. I have the
right.
episode number for you. I just look at my notes. But
okay.
So Karen and Georgia each tell each other one true crime story a week.
Mm-hmm.
So during the summer, they took the summer off, and so what they did was they had guest hosts who chose their favorite stories that Karen and Georgia had ever told.
Mm-hmm.
So in episode 285, one of them tells the Amityville horror story.
Okay, I've heard a little about that, of course.
Mm-hmm. And then Georgia tells the story of the Lindbergh baby kidnapping.
Okay.
It will make you feel differently about Charles Lindbergh than maybe you feel right now.
Episode 285, My Favorite Murder.
Episode 285 of My Favorite Murder. It's a podcast that I love. I've been listening for a long time. I like true crime stuff. There is some stories that I won't listen to on there because it's just too graphic or whatever for my taste. But Karen and Georgia do a good job of keeping things pretty light, really being sympathetic toward the victims. They're really good about making corrections or just being respectful in general.
Okay, sounds good.
They also do a mini-sode every week, which is where people write in their hometown stories.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that's the Halloween and other media selection for us for today.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
All right, you guys, that does it for our horror homework takeover of Days of Halloween.
If for some reason you want to hear more of me, I have a podcast called Nerd Bliss, available in all of the usual podcast places, and you can find us at nerdblisspodcast.com.
Awesome, you should definitely check it out. And if you enjoyed this video, please click retweet. That's where you give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it.
Ring the bell.
Ring that notification bell.
Yes.
And subscribe to the Fall Horsemen. And also, please feel free to stalk us on all the social media, where you'll find all the spooky stuff we're doing throughout this month and forever. And thank you for riding with the Fall Horsemen.
Thank you. Where Halloween lives.
And fall is forever.
Wow, I barely made that one.
Oh.
Fantastique.
The French magazine Ciné Fantastique called it. Oh no! I was just trying to like joke.
Okay.
I was like, oh, don't say that. You're good. We're at a good place.
If you are interested.
Don't go in the woods.
Don't go in the woods.
Don't go in the woods. His name I already can't remember. Takashi Shimizu. I have a quote that I can't remember right now, so I'm gonna look at my notes. Oh. Here are the things. Steamy Fasti. Fantastic.
William Shakespeare.
Ciné Fantastique called it. I'm gonna look at my notes. Moves into the home with one of their with. So it left my brain as soon as I